For a problem like number 9, we need to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex. The first thing that we're going to do is find the axis of symmetry, which actually gets half of our vertex complete. So the formula for the axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. Now keep in mind, this is my a, my b, and my c value. So a side note, I know that a is equal to 2. B is equal to negative 12, and C is equal to 19. Now as I go over here to do my work, I get x equals negative 12, all divided by 2 times 2. X equals positive 12, negative times negative is positive, and that'll all be over 4, so we get x equals 3. Now, that is part of my vertex. So, the x value, so I'm going to do it right up here, vertex. To find my vertex, I know that this x value, the axis of symmetry, is the x value of my vertex. Now, in order to find the y value, I need to go ahead and actually compute this, go through the operation of plugging in to this equation, x being equal to 3. So if I do that, I get 2 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3 plus 19. So now I'm going to do this real quickly. I'm in my head a little bit, so y equals 2 times 9. So I get y equals 1 if I were to plug in 3 for x. So my vertex is 3, 1. My two answers and what I'm looking for on this sheet to make sure that you do have would be this as your axis of symmetry, x equals 3 written as an equation, and your vertex as 3, negative 1. So go ahead, take a second, look this over. Very simply put, just to kind of refresh you on what we just did, is we use the axis of symmetry equation, x equals negative b over 2a. We found the axis of symmetry, one of the parts we needed, and then we had to plug in that value into x to find the y value, and then we found our vertex. Taking a look at number 15, our directions were to graph this equation. So the steps that we did before in finding the axis of symmetry and the vertex, that's definitely important to be able to do this. So we're going to do that first. So let's go ahead and find our axis of symmetry. I'm just going to do it on the side here. And we remember x equals negative b over 2a. Here we have x equals negative 16 all over 2 times negative 2. X equals 16 over negative 4. We get x equals negative 4. Now remember, that is the axis of symmetry is the x value of our vertex. So we're very close. We just got to find the other value of our vertex. And we get that by using the equation you see above and plugging in negative 4. So we have y equals negative 2 times negative 4 squared minus 16 times negative 4 minus 31. So here I have y equals negative 2 times positive 16. And then after that, I'll have, let's see, plus 64 minus 31. So some big numbers, but we can compute them. So this would be negative 32 plus 64 minus 31. Next, y equals 32 minus 31. Very convenient again, just like the other example I did, but we get y equals 1. So we have our vertex at negative 4, 1. Alright, I'm going to kind of move to the side here and show you the t-chart with this information. So this is what we're going to do next, is combining some of the old stuff with some new material. So in order to get this graph going, we need to make a t-chart. Now, I've mentioned plenty of times, but this t-chart, the very crucial thing is picking your x values. The one we want to put in the middle here is going to be negative 4. And we do know the outcome of that is 1, because that's your vertex. And then I want to go down 2 and up 2. So if I went down 2, it would be negative 5, negative 6, negative 3, negative 2. Now, all of these numbers, as we did in class, you have to plug in and evaluate. So if I were to plug -2, if I were to plug -2 in for x up here at the top for both of those values, we will take a look at what I would get. So I will do that work on the side, zoom out a little bit. So if I were to plug in that, let's see what we would get. So it would be y equals -2 times -2 squared minus 16 times -2 minus 31. Y equals -2 times 4 plus 32 minus 31. And from there we'll go ahead and get y equals -8. I'm going to do plus 1. So we get y equals -7. That was there, and it would be symmetrical over there. Now what I'm going to do next is going to be that -1 value, or I'm sorry, not -1, it would be the -3 value. So I will have y equals -2 times -3 squared minus 16 times -3 minus 31 they have there, so minus, squeeze it in here, minus 31, hopefully that's okay. So then I end up getting y equals -2 times 9 plus 48 minus 31. So that's y equals -18 plus, that would give me 17. So I get y equals -1. I'll go up here and fill that out. Alright, so now I have my t-chart. I have my 5 values that I need. I'm going to go ahead and mark these 5 points on my coordinate plane in a purple pen. Come back to -6, -7. I go down here. -5, -1. That's right there. -4, +1. -3, -1. And -2, -7. So that shape looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and trace that in. Alright, now let's make a little sense of this. We see that we have a parabola that's opening down. It has, our interest here is that it is a -a value, so we knew that it would open down. Furthermore, I think that it is important to talk about what I expect from you in class completely, so I'm going to do that in a bright yellow. But I will want you to definitely label that this is your vertex. I want you to put what your vertex is on your graph, and then finally, also very important would be to label your axis of symmetry. So that goes right here as a dotted line through that symmetrical point. And I'm okay if you just go AOS and then, somewhere on the side you have the work for it. So that is a complete problem. Yes, there's a lot going on there. Yes, I know I gave you a lot to work on. But really, you should be able to get these problems done in just a couple minutes once you get the hang of it. So keep practicing, practice. Good luck, and I will see you guys tomorrow.